growing up as a kid, if you had black parents, you got beat and disciplined. We got beat. I'm talking about you and your mama's belt had a close and connected relationship. Y'all would even go out every once in a while and have dinner. Do you understand? See, back in the day, I was a bad kid and I got beat for it like any other kid, and I thought about running away once or twice. I'm not even gonna lie. I thought about like just changing my name and my identity, just pack everything and just move to Mexico. Getting whooped was not the best experiences growing up, and I got a funny story to tell you about the worst beating I have ever received. Here we go. So growing up when I was still young and dumb and naive, I'm still all of that now. I did some pretty dumb things. It wasn't anything too serious. I did typical hoodlum activity, setting things on fire, ding dong ditch, throwing rocks at windows. Do you understand? I was a young crackhead. But this act of rebellion was mostly because I wanted to be accepted. I wanted to be validated. I was nowhere close to being the leader that I am today. I was definitely a follower. And this way of thinking costed me. And I'm gonna tell you why. One day during lunch, my boy Tavon came up to me. Tavon is my best friend, and the reason why we were so close is because we always kept it real with each other. And being that, he lets me know right away that the lunch that I was eating that day was trash. Now, when I honestly look back at it, my lunch did not suck. I had a classic peanut butter and jelly sandwich, maybe a banana, it was probably half eaten, and probably a yogurt or something. That's pretty fire if you ask me today. But back then, when someone made fun of something of mine, you want to know what I did? I got all in my feelings, and on the inside, it hurt me. Because again, I wasn't a person, and I was a little and a too, but that's what's to be expected from a 12-year-old. And then Tavon is like, no, I'm not trying to make fun of you. And he said, you see those popular kids over there? And he points to the kids who had lunches like Subway and Chick-fil-A. He says, if you and I want to fit in with the popular kids, we have to get a better lunch. We have to get a fire lunch. Now, I was raised well. My mom raised me well. She raised me and taught me that what you have and what you can afford does not determine your self-value or who you are as a person, but the content of your character determines who you are and what you can become. Yo, shut your big boy up. But I did not care. Back then, I did not care. All I needed or wanted was a cool lunch so I could be accepted into the real Ninja Kingdom, you feel me? I knew that if I was going to be able to hang with the popular kids, I needed to have a better lunch, right? I needed to fit in. So when I got home, I got to thinking, I'm like, I need a dope lunch, but I'm broke and I'm like 12. I can't get no job. I ended up deciding that I was gonna get pizza, commercial pizza, for my lunch the next day. Like, now on how I was gonna get the money, I remembered every day my mom would drive me to school, and in her car, in that little visor mirror foldable thing, I don't even know what those are called, she kept money up there. And I thought she wouldn't mind if I took like a few dollars. I mean, she got enough up there. I would be doing her a favor, right? Right? Oh my God, I'm so stupid. So the next day comes by and I'm getting ready for school faster than a mug. The plan was for me to get ready before my mother so I could be out the door before my mother and in the car before my mother so I could steal some money. Okay, we get it, goddamn. And that's what I did. I booked it to the car first thing in the morning. Didn't even eat breakfast. Now I get in the car and I lift the visor down and bam! It's like at least 10 Benjis in this car. And I didn't really question how my mom got this money, but I take one of them down and now my good conscience is speaking to me. He says, how would your mother, your own mom, react if she knew that her precious baby boy is in her car stealing her money right now? She wouldn't be able to live with herself. You wouldn't be able to live with yourself. Maybe you should just put it back. You should do the right thing. You have a mission to complete. She won't even notice when we take one because she got so many. Think of the bitch. Think of how many slimmies you'll be able to flex on. Think of the haters you'll get the flex on. Think of the clout. The clout. No, do not listen to him, Ty. Your mom will be so disappointed in you. She didn't raise you this way. You grew up in a good environment, in a good home. You do not need to steal. Good me, meet me outside right now. Nah, fuck all that bullshit. You kept trying. Nah. I'ma really show you what's good. I'ma really. Hold up. Oh my Take the money. So I listen to my bad conscience and I take the money. And plus my mom was coming out that front door so fast, I honestly panicked and just put it in my pocket. I sit down and she drives me to school. Now when I get to school, I waste no time letting everybody know that I had a bag on me, which I did. Because at that age, if you had more than $30 on you, you're stunting, you're flexing, and I had $100 on me. So just imagine the attention and clout that I was receiving. It was too much. So word about me spread pretty quickly through school, and I'm talking about like wildfire. It got to the point where my brother, who was 2 grades ahead of me at the time, he actually came up to talk to me. Now, he comes up to me, he's like, yo, I heard you got a bag on you. Now, I don't know where you got this money from, nor do I care. I just want to know what you plan on doing with it. I bring out Tavon, aka my new manager, so fast because I don't speak to broke ninjas. Oh, I don't speak to peasants. And Tavon let him know. He's like, T-Dog. T-Dog is the name that I was going. I was 12. So like, cut me some slack. So Tavon's like, yo, T-Dog is not taking any questions right now. If you wish to set up an appointment, call this number. And then my brother's like, no. What you're not hearing me is I could get you pizza. And then my attention like, pizza? That's like the magic word back then. And so I'm telling him, I'm like, I'm listening. And he basically gives me the lowdown. He says, if I gave him the money, he could order pizza to the school and we could definitely have it by lunch. And I don't know if he think I was a dummy or a fool back then. He must have thought that I was inexperienced because he was right. Because I accepted so fast. Like, I was like, for sure, player. Hey, make sure you get that pepperoni with the sauce. Actually, don't add the salt. The garlic bread would be nice too. So at this point, I'm hyped. I'm talking about, I feel like when you drunk at a party and you just going crazy, and anytime somebody asks you a question, it's just yes. And while I was on my kick-ass streak, I yelled out in the middle of the hallway that I was buying everyone pizza for lunch and that nobody needed to buy their lunch today. And of course, everybody started cheering, and my ego was long and like a spaceship, like it wasn't coming back. Fast forward about an hour and lunch is about to happen. It's about to go down. Lunch honestly feels like a club. People are standing in line just to enter this place, mainly because I promised about 50 kids for some pizza. But anyway, I get to lunch and I skip the whole line. Like, people just let me straight to the front. At this point, I'm in lunch just waiting for Rihanna and Kylie Jenner to come out and escort me to my table. I'm sitting at the table with my new crew and we're just talking it up. I'm really getting to know these people and it seems like they're really cool. And then it dawned upon me. These people were actually chill, and I'm 100.000% sure if I would have just came up to them and had been myself and asked to sit with them the other day, they wouldn't have had no mind letting me do that. And I realized that I didn't need to go behind my mom's back. I didn't need to steal her money, and I didn't need to put on this fake persona. But I did. But it was too late for this sappy, because the next thing I heard out of this intercom, I will never forget for as long as I live.
Excuse me. Can how do you say?
I think it says Tyrone. I mean, it sounds
Alright,
black.
Can Tyrone
No, it definitely says Ty queer.
You sure?
Definitely. I grew up with tons of black friends. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Alright, pump the
All right.
brakes, Tim. Okay. Can Ty Queer Lane please report
Ty
the front
queer? What type of name
office? Ty Queer Lane. You are requested by a parent.
His mama is
And
up in
it
this
definitely
office.
isn't
She's
your
on-
father.
She's finna beat his ass when they get home.
He doesn't have a father.
He doesn't have a dad.